Subscribe now. EU debates.
And they acted accordingly. Our friends in the Baltics have worked hard to end their dependency on Russia. They have invested heavily in renewable energy, in LNG terminals, in interconnectors. They made the experience, yes, this comes at a cost, but dependency on Russian fossil fuels comes at a much, much higher price. So we have to get rid of this dependency all over Europe. As you know, therefore, we agreed to join storage. We are now at 84%. That's good. We're overshooting our targets. But unfortunately, this will not be enough. We have to diversify away from Russia to reliable suppliers like the United States and Norway and Algeria and others. Two figures that are interesting. Last year, Russian gas accounted for 40% of our imported gas. Today, it's down to 9%. But we also see that Russia keeps actively manipulating our energy market. I mean, they prefer to flare the gas instead of sending it to Europe according to the contracts that are existing. So this market is not functioning anymore. And in addition, the climate crisis is heavily weighing in our bills. Heat waves have boosted electricity demand, droughts shut down hydro and nuclear plants, and as a result, prices have risen by more than 10 times compared to before the pandemic. Making ends meet is becoming a source of anxiety for millions of businesses and households in the European Union. But we also see how Europeans are coping with this challenge. Think of the workers in ceramic factories in central Italy who have decided to move their shifts to the early morning to benefit from the lower energy prices. And just imagine the mothers and fathers among those workers having to leave home early when the kids are still sleeping because of a war they have not chosen. This is one example in a million of examples of Europeans adapting to the new reality. And I want our union to take example from its people. So reducing demand during peak hours will make supply last longer and it will bring prices down. This is why we're putting forward measures for member states to reduce their overall electricity consumption. And then targeted support is needed for small and medium enterprises, like the glass makers across Europe who cannot longer turn on their ovens, or for single parents facing one daunting bill after the next if they look at electricity. Millions of Europeans need support. This is why we are proposing a cap on the revenues of companies that produce electricity at low costs. These companies are making revenues they never accounted for, they never even dreamt of. And don't get me wrong, in our social market economy, profits are okay, they are good. But in these times, it is wrong to receive extraordinary record revenues and profits benefiting from war and on the back of our consumers. In these times, profits must be shared and channeled to those who need it most. And therefore, our proposal also includes the fossil fuel electricity producers who have to give a crisis contribution. And overall, our proposal will raise more than 140 billion euros for member states to cushion the blow directly.